and he's just had to sit there and watch this barrage of supreme cue ball control and breaks. It is impossible to play any better than he's played in this evening session. Impossible.
Back to Clive and Dennis.
Well, Clive, look at the break-off shot. That tells a story.
Yes, just the two-cushion break. The orthodox break has been leaving a long red too often, but the two-cushion break far too short. So O'Sullivan gets started again.
Eight. Nine.
Well, this audience absolutely enthralled this evening. What an exhibition they're watching. All ages here. And there's a young man. Well, he can't believe. Looks
16.
like a young Steve Davis.
17.
I hope not. We have enough trouble with the old one.
$24. 25.
Well, that was very interesting there. Quite easy to play for the blue, but he decided to leave himself on the black. 4 reds, 4 blacks.
32.
Fully stretched and with the opposite hand.
Yep.
I think that's just a stretch too far.
Yes, he played a similar shot on 99, but took the second foot off the floor. That didn't matter, but obviously it would have done in this instance.
Well, that previous shot I mentioned where he didn't play for the blue tells me he's got a maximum on his mind at the moment. And this is a key shot coming up here. Delicate little screw. And he has held for that one at the back of the bunch.
40.
Oh, he got a
41.
kick. That's why he's finished on the cushion. He got a heavy contact. The ball's jumped a little bit there. Both red and white leaving the bed of the table. There's still a possible chance of potting the black and getting on the red to the left of the bunch there. And that is just about perfect. Or is it?
48.
Has he come up a little bit short? Oh, just so. Ding's £35,000 safe for the moment.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 48.
Well, this mighty crowd is seeing something special.
That was a strange way to get down immediately. Just walk to the table and hit that. It's turned out to be a good shot, but the way Ding played that last shot tells me that maybe he's just given up. And he's just really, he's not even got down. I don't really like to see this from the young Chinese player. He's such a talent, but you're only 5 frames behind. Okay,
Quiet
you're not
now,
getting
please.
a chance.
Settle down.
Don't come to the table and do that.
1.
Well, I find it very unexpected. I thought that Ding would fight it out to the very last.
Well, we've always built Ding, okay, he hasn't been around that long, but we've
6.
always said what a good temperament he has, but there's a little bit of a suspect there because he has lost his temperament somewhat.
7. Settle down now, please. 11.
It's a game you should never give up at, because if one player can keep another player off the table for 4 or 5 frames, you've always got the chance of doing the same thing yourself.
Yes, and there are also issues like pride of performance
17.
and duty to the ticket buying
18.
and viewing public to fight it out to the last. I remember Cliff Thorburn lost a match once, 18-6, final of the World
25.
Championship.
26.
And he said, if I could have lost 18-7, I would have done.
32. 33.
Mid-session interval coming up, but I can honestly say that
40.
this has been one of the best displays of snooker
41.
I've ever seen. I've seen Stephen Hendry play this type of snooker, but this really has been awesome.
48. 49. 49.
Well, Ding walks forward to shake O'Sullivan's hand.
One more.
Maybe he thinks
When it's Sullivan,
best of
49.
17.
And the frame.
It's not, it's best of 19. O'Sullivan leads 9-3, but I think he's trying to persuade Ding to play on, or to emphasise that it is best of 19.
We'll try and clear this up, but clearly there's some drama there, and Ding Junhui not quite sure what is going on. 19 years of age, the onslaught from Ronnie is having his effect, and perhaps Ding doesn't quite realise what the score is, but given the onslaught from Ronnie there, we'll try and sort this out in a moment, but it's quite incredible.
Well, if he thought it was the best of 17 rather than the best of 19, there's a possible equation there. He's either thrown the towel in and upset with himself to some degree. He looked very desperate at the end of that frame there, but he may have been a bit upset. He just sort of pointed as if the crowd were upsetting him a bit. I don't necessarily think that's the case, but you can imagine if you're in another country coming over here, it's always been a very vociferous crowd at Wembley, hasn't it? And a lot of Ronnie O'Sullivan fans. Who knows, John?
It's been a very partisan crowd for Ronnie as well.
It has, and you have to expect it. I mean, we've both played Jimmy White here when it's been full, and it's something you do need a bit of experience at. But I don't know whether he's got confused there, whether he thinks it's first to 9 or first to 10. I've got no idea.
Do you think the crowd have been showing Ding enough respect?
I think they've shown him respect, but it's an unusual situation to get so much cheering when you miss a ball. And I mean, we've experienced it. I mean, like the days of Alex Higgins, when you play Jimmy, sometimes, certainly in the London area, you miss a ball and the crowd go mad. They cheer that you've missed it, and that's very upsetting. But you have to deal with that. And I think the way it happened at the end of that, Ding was in a bit of a state. I think he was like emotional state. That's why Ronnie put his hand around his shoulder. Now Ronnie knows what it's like to be out there and to feel under it and to feel those. The way that they were walking off, I think Ronnie was in a situation of consoling him to some degree.
What an irony. Ronnie had a mid-match walkout in York because he couldn't deal with the situation as it was at that particular moment. And there's Ronnie, 31 years of age, now putting his arm round Ding, trying to console him and help him, because the youngster's temperament, we clearly saw that for the first time ever, he was shocked and shaken.
And in the very next tournament. Completely ironic.
Ronnie broke down in this frame. Played an excellent safety shot, and Ding just walked to the table, just Well, he'd just given up.
I mean,
He's
what-
got down,
I mean-
didn't even get his chin on the cue, just splashed into the Reds, ineffectively trying to open them up for his opponent to make it an easier job in clearing them up, to get the job over and done with.
Ronnie has taken Ding into his own dressing room to have a chat with him at the moment. These are unprecedented scenes, I think, for
Yeah.
Ronnie O'Sullivan to take Ding in his dressing room.
Yeah.
If there's anyone that knows about these situations, if there's anyone that's been in the situation where strange things happen, it's Ronnie. They were saying Ronnie O'Sullivan is an elder statesman trying to compose and console a young player.
Well, I mean, Ding's not been around a lot. You know, obviously he's only been a short time, but he's never been in that situation, has he? Where he's just been sat there from 2-0 up and watched someone play that good. And I think the whole thing's just frustrating. I mean, he just can't get his hand on the table, and when he does, he keeps losing frame after frame after frame. The best player in the world is playing at its best, and it's unplayable.
It's strange. In boxing, you're allowed to throw the towel in if you're getting a beating up. This is a severe beating up. Ronnie threw the towel in against Stephen Hendry when he was 4-1 behind. It looked as if Ding was giving up then.
It's frowned upon in snooker, though.
Well, it's not. Well, yes, it is, because it's not a severe physical beating, but mentally it's just as hurtful. You know, boxers, they get beaten up, but they mentally take the scars more so. They recover from those. They don't necessarily recover from the mental scars. This is mentally a beating of massive proportions, especially when Ding was playing so well.
Ronnie on his way to the Masters title. More on this situation, whether it's a language issue, whether Ding does want to concede the game, whether he doesn't know what the score is. We'll bring you news as soon as we know for sure. But Ding is in Ronnie O'Sullivan's dressing room at the moment.